You suck at energy.
I have no energy. Hey, what's going on? This is Herzreh from Hold Reset Game. This podcast number dos, number zwei, what the fuck? There's 3 of us, so it doesn't matter what episode we're on. This is Sloth, Habs. What are we talking about today? How about some old news? Old news.
We never got to what It's For Your Mouth is from. It's really uneventful.
Everybody wants to.
I wish there was like a 15-minute.
It's not as exciting.
Like movie-esque crazy story. Like, so there I was, just stripper. There's nothing that.
No, it's more like, and there was Habs at work.
Yeah, it's just something one of my coworkers said a lot.
For your mouth.
He said it's for your mouth.
And this is where you
about
belong.
random things. It wasn't even terribly sexual, but I'm sure you could take it that way. But yeah, one of my coworkers.
I think this is where we usually use it. We usually make it.
Well, that or if it's like this is
during our
awesome.
gameplay anyway.
For you.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, it was just one.
But
of
I
my
do like how everybody's taking it and saying like, oh look, podcast, hey, it's for your ears, or look at that, those pretty colors, it's for your eyes.
It is.
So.
It is. Well,
and your mouth.
You guys are awesome.
That's like our shirts are for your body.
Mm-hmm.
And our coffee mugs are for you.
The
coffee mugs are still perfect because it has the logo on one side. It says it's for your mouth on the other side.
Which they are.
It's amazing.
Don't eat ceramic.
It's not for your mouth.
Ceramic is not for eating. No,
it is not for. Don't eat the mug. Drink what is inside.
Do they
it.
make dentures out of ceramic?
All right.
Then those would be for your mouth.
I don't know. Maybe back in the day.
Clearly over
Acrylic.
Yeah.
Acrylic. I think they're acrylic.
You're acrylic. You're an inanimate fucking object. 50 internets.
It's my cock in your butt cheeks.
Wrong.
New Tenacious D album coming out.
We are all dumber for having heard that. You rewarded no points. God have mercy on your soul.
Okay. All right. So this is the second one we're doing.
It's my cock in your butt cheeks.
This. Shut up.
Okay, now we gotta get to the. Now we're all
little Randy.
We're all energized, ready to go.
How do you work with this shit?
Stop camera taking.
See, and this is supposed to be for you guys, and I'm not allowed to camera take and look at you.
I'm
looking at me,
you.
watching you while I talk to you.
While you see
not
those
saying
3
it's
heads
you,
on the
it's a
side
camera
watching
there.
you while we're watching you, you're watching us, but you have 2 of us watching you.
Why do podcasts never, ever stay in the topic that they're supposed to?
Because if they did, they'd be boring.
always
You got the
go
2. You're in the middle. You got the 2 hands. That's where
moderator.
You go.
Yeah, blank page, blank. It's blank. We have no script or anything.
There
We're
is
just rolling
coffee
with
in
it.
the mug, though, if
Yes.
you can tell.
Yeah,
we
we're
aren't
not-
being fake there.
no.
We love coffee.
Mine's done.
Probably more
so
so
just
than
a
any of
mouse.
us should. So we decided this is what? Kind of like the state of gaming as far as...
Well, not a state of gaming.
No. It's like the state of gaming is like the main topic. And then the subtopic, which we're probably going to be talking mostly about, is arcades and what happened to them and are they dead?
No. Arcades are still around based off of what you do.
The physical structures of commerce are dead.
Yeah, I was going to say, you kind of have to break it down because...
But the metaphysical idea of microtransactions purchasing gaming is as alive as it ever was.
Well, yeah, because...
I can't believe I worded it that well in the first try. Just
No editing.
This is
like
the
a
new
bounce.
quarter. This is the new quarter.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yep.
Or game time cards.
Yeah.
And you should really fuzz that out in case people because this is 720p, right?
Yeah.
It could probably go.
I'll fuzz it
1080.
out. I'll fuzz it out.
You would need 1080 for that probably.
I don't know. You can make some educated guesses.
There will be a black blob on the front of the card.
Yeah.
Which will also be on Sloth's eye. You're gonna be a pirate for a second.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what? Yeah, the whole idea of paying small amounts for a continuous form of gaming is not dead at all. I mean, obviously,
It's just
nothing
moved.
is a quarter.
It's just
anymore.
moved from putting a quarter into a machine like this to adding money to your account on whatever online game you're playing.
The station.
Subscription fees.
Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
yeah,
You're not
fees
paying
kind
a
of like
quarter
that.
for 5 minutes anymore, but you're paying $15 for a month,
Or
you're paying 300 voodoo dollars
Yeah.
for a snarful
What
of
happens? What happens when you
axe.
die in a game, in an arcade game? What do you have to do?
You have to put in more money.
You have to
Right.
put in a quarter to finish the game. Nowadays, with the games that they have going on, the DLC to finish the game, hence that's where you're paying more for that.
Yeah, there's actually.
Well, I don't know if that's to finish the game.
That's extra stuff, extra quest
content
packs for
for
some. Like Dungeon Defenders, for instance. People have more than likely finished that. Now they just come out with like the Crystal Shards DLC, and that's more
Right.
to the games to where, oh hey, there's more to the game, might as well finish it. And then,
Well,
might as
DLC
well
fits
make
right
money.
in with.
Yeah.
I would place DLC in the same category as microtransactions, although it's probably a little bit bigger than that.
See,
Depends on the model.
Even though
Right.
I'm guilty of it, I just the whole pet system that WoW has, where you can buy mounts and pets now in their store.
Yeah, even things like that.
I
And
have I have them too.
As a reel back to the whole, like DLC is a little more, a little less. Take something like I haven't played Mass Effect 3 yet, so I don't have a frame of reference for that. But for Mass Effect 2, like their full content DLC packs, like for the what was the name of it? Anyways, for the full content ones, those were like 800 Microsoft points, which are $10. But then they would also have like, oh, you can get this character for $360, which is like $4, and you can get like this gun for $160, which is like $2, and so they do mini transaction it as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, like again, the what I said before, I can't even remember the good words I used before. But the idea of paying for content on a continuous basis instead of
Right.
$60, here's your game. That's not dead, but like
Well, you paid that. to
The-
get a
Well,
game.
isn't like $60? Here's your game. Isn't that kind of the same thing as instead
Yes,
of instead of pumping $30 worth of quarters into a machine until you beat it?
But it's-
you're
But
just
there is a
buying
difference.
the game and
It's
playing it
always-
at home.
It's
But there
always
is a-
been that though.
But there is a difference because you could spend $30 beating Mortal Kombat 2 back in the day when it first came out. Though if you spent $30, you were kind of bad. But anyways,
Or you played the tallest tower on the thing.
Or
and
you
you were
played
mad.
against a bunch of people who kept pumping quarters in, and they're like,
yeah. But,
get
but let's say you were alone in a Mortal Kombat 2 arcade thing, which the only way that happens is if Mortal Kombat 3 is next to it. But you're alone in the Mortal Kombat 2 and you pump $10 into it to beat it. You have paid $10 for what was probably an hour and a half worth of entertainment. Whereas you could,
If you're bad.
But whatever. You could pay $60, which is how much games were, $50-$60 back then.
Yeah.
They had, not much has changed.
No.
$50-$60 for Mortal Kombat 2 for your console. You're probably going to be playing it for more than an hour and a half. And actually, if you paid $10 for an hour and a half, to get your money's worth, 10 times 6 is hour and a half times 6 is 6. That's like 9 hours.
Right.
You're gonna play Mortal Kombat for more hours. Like the whole
Not
arcade
really.
thing was more of a.
when I had a Mortal Kombat on console, I beat it and it just sat there.
Well, no,
And that's how
yeah.
they actually sort of make money, if only because you just paid $60 for a game you only spent 10 hours on, which means you're gonna go buy another game now
Yeah.
to fill your time. But on the other hand, you could spend $60 on Red Dead Redemption and get like 35 hours out of that just by 100% completing it and getting all the achievements. That doesn't even count the like.
That's not even.
There's
that
even the
much
people.
anymore.
Well, there's even the people who pay $60 for Modern Warfare 3, and they're going to get hundreds of hours out of it.
Well, yeah, that's because of the multiplayer aspect.
Exactly.
Because
and that's,
that experience is always going to change because
and
you're
even
always
then,
going to be playing
that's
with
not
different people.
That wasn't equitable.
But see, now something like that brings in the replayability factor. Is because
Well,
like
yeah.
if something like Modern Warfare 3, you're gonna have replayability because of the multiplayer aspect.
It would be the difference between spending $50 on Ninja Gaiden 2, a fantastic NES game, or $50 on Final Fantasy, an RPG game that typically back in the day, and it even holds true today, you're going to get a lot more mileage out of. Not, and that's the thing. You might only beat Final Fantasy once, but that might take you 50 hours. Whereas, even though you probably won't beat Ninja
Right.
Gaiden 2, let's say you did, it
Let's be realistic here.
it only took you 3 hours and about 2 extra controllers.
I never played it.
Did you play any of the Ninja Gaidens?
The first level, the first one.
Shame. For shame.
Because I couldn't beat it. You know how many controllers I broke in that effing game?
That's when Ninja Gaiden's price went from 50 to 80 really quickly. But
I still have a couple of those broken
you
controllers.
have to factor in the cost of
that's
the
the
extra
thing, though,
controllers.
is when you actually buy the game, in theory, if you're thinking about that purchase and you're weighing the value of it,
Right.
you're looking at it going, I'm spending $60 in this game for this expected amount of playtime. The way arcades used to work, you put in 50 cents. That 50 cents, that could last you 5 minutes. It could last you an hour if you were good.
Yeah.
There was a brief point in time where I was good enough at arcade racing games where a buck got me like 4 hours because I'd finish first every time because a few select ones. Cruisin' USA I think was the one I was good at. And that was a hell of a
What are
good
you
game.
Giggling about over here.
Finish first every time. Sorry. I had to. It's just like we're playing games now.
So anyways, but that's the thing is, and it still holds true today. Like,
I'm gonna turn this way now.
well, it still holds true today because, like, say you play World of Warcraft, you pay up front, for everything you have to pay for,
Right.
the vanilla and then BC and then
Well, yeah, because you got to buy the core game, then you got to buy the expansions, and you got to pay your subscription fee.
yeah,
Is it
but
Burning Crusade,
BC, Wrath,
Vanilla,
and now
BC,
Kata.
Wrath, Kata, and Mist is coming. It's
Yeah,
gonna be
so
the 5th.
you're going to be paying $40 for this plus your $60 for that.
Oh, do they have a $40 all inclusive?
I'm pretty sure.
it's totally normal to have a second mortgage nowadays. It's cool.
Yeah, right? Just to play one game. They're going to have to...
But that's the thing. That's the promise of like, especially a genre like MMOs, where they're kind of.
If you're paying full price for all of that just in the 4 expansions, that's $240.
No.
$240 plus
Well, if
your
you pay
$15
full
a
price
month.
up front
That's
every
what
time.
that's what I'm saying.
No. I bought the battle chest, which at the time...
No, but he's saying if you bought every expansion the day it came out.
What about the people who bought the collector's editions? Because I have the Wrath collector's edition and the Cataclysm collector's edition.
Yeah,
Well,
those are more. But I'm saying if you just buy the core game, like specifically for World of Warcraft, everything releases at what, $60?
Yeah.
So there have been 4. So that's $240 if you're buying every game at release
as it comes
That's
out.
what
as it comes,
and
plus all of your subscription fees.
minus 4 months because you didn't get a free month for every. Okay,
Yeah.
free month.
Yeah.
But here's my end game point. Actually, I was
And
kinda
now
straight.
they have microtransactions where you can buy pets and mounts and all of that stuff.
Well, it's not even that, but the promise of where you're getting the value from with your money has just sort of shifted. With an arcade, back in the day, you put in $1, and your expected lifespan of your money, as far as it translating to the value you're getting of playing a game, was pretty much based on your skill level, completely. For the most part.
I knew that when my dad gave me 4 quarters, I would be occupied for about 10 minutes. That's
Yes, you were bad.
It depends on what
I
game
still am. I've never claimed to be good. I'm
was
terrible.
Good. I was good at this.
All you gotta do is watch our other videos. You know
Yeah.
I'm bad.
The
I
thing
was
is,
good at Pac-Man.
the thing is with MMOs, the promise shifts to where it's not really skill based how much money you're going to get out of it. It's more how much time do you have. That's really what it comes down to. Because like someone who plays WoW, someone who plays World of Warcraft 1 hour a night, right?
That's not worth 50 cents a day.
Let's say it's 1 hour a night. Is that worth $15 a month?
Ends up being what?
It depends.
Yeah,
It's
50 cents a
well,
day.
that's the thing. It depends on how you look at it. If you're looking at it to where, oh wow, I don't really, because when WoW you really don't get much done with 1 hour a day, really, with all the preparation.
Depending
you
on
have
what
to
you're doing, yeah.
But it depends on what you're doing.
It really depends on what you're doing.
But that's the thing.
You could be sitting in the main city.
But that's the thing.
If you're walking.
Did 50 cents get you an hour back in the arcade days?
Yeah, it got you pretty far, depending on what you.
How much does a game of bowling cost?
I don't know.
$6?
Maybe
$9?
Like that. No, I think it's like
Is that even an hour?
$3-4.
Is that even an hour?
It depends on how many people you have with you and how long you
Fair
take.
enough, but still, it's not 50 cents for
when
an
you're
hour.
available.
How much does a cup of coffee cost? Just to sit in a coffee shop.
Surprisingly, $2.02 at Denny's.
See, there you go.
I just got coffee.
But granted, we stretched that 202 for like 5 hours.
Yeah.
We get our money's
we're
worth out of
capable
that.
of it. Yeah.
But then the gas and everything. When you think about it, even just an hour a night, that's actually really there's worse values for your time. Many worse values. But at the end of the day, yeah, it's all about where your priorities lie. But that's the thing, is how MMOs go, is it's a winners out system of dedication towards value. Is the more you dedicate, the more value you're getting, and then your experience is probably going to be better if you dedicate more, because you're going to be better at the game. There's going to be more things you can do. If you're a crappy WoW player, you're probably not seeing very much raid content, either because a legitimate guild won't take you, or you're in a guild that's too crappy to get far.
How did we? This entire thing has gone from arcades to World of Warcraft.
World of Warcraft it's representative of the entire MMO thing, which is kind of where the whole money for predetermined amount of time.
Yeah. Okay.
Has shifted.
Well, they have.
Why don't we shift to free-to-play games?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's subscription-based, which is kind of like you're paying for an allotted time of enjoyment of that particular game.
Well, that's the thing, is the whole freemium model that has gained traction. It's not really that much different when you think about it. Like the model Lord of the Rings.
No, because the companies still have to make money somehow. Otherwise, they're not going to be making games. You can't afford to, because you can't pay your people to develop them.
Just letting you know, I paid full price for Tribes, and I enjoy.
What'd you pay? 50?
60.
He's paid, because he's bought twice. I bought once. I'm at 30.
Yeah, I'm at 30 as well.
But
I came really close to going to 60, but then I held off.
I don't know if I ever will. I'm happy with what I have, but the companies still have to pay their employees to make these games, so they have to have things like microtransactions and stuff like that. Like Tribes, you pay to get the gold, which allows you to buy weapons and other classes and stuff like that.
Doombringer.
But people might. Well, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Doombringer.
People might be wanting to.
Not you, him.
Find some sort of overarching point that we can have across this, and I think I may have stumbled into one. As you can tell, we didn't plan this at all.
No.
I have stuff written down, but it's in a notebook over there.
My tablet here.
You don't want to know what you don't want to know what he wrote on my notebook.
Probably something about dicks.
That's what he wrote.
Or poop.
Yes. It was about poop.
It's that while a lot of people kind of look at freemium models and microtransactions and DLC as sort of like a mirror, there's something wrong with that.
No, there isn't.
This is the thing. There isn't, for one reason and one reason only. It's better than it used to be. Because with an arcade, it was a winners out system. And granted, and again, we're going back to MMOs because that's like the most prevalent.
Well, it keeps the game fresh.
The MMOs is the genre.
It's the genre that uses
the freemium model mostly.
Naturally. While you could say, oh well, the MMOs are engineered to keep you playing a lot. The thing is, those arcade games back in the day were really engineered to snake quarters. The whole 3 lives game over thing that is still in gaming here and there.
Yeah.
That was the only reason that was created, is there had to be a finite, you suck, give me more money.
Well,
for the arcade machine.
And you have to remember, you can't just account for the 3 lives game over. You have to account for the difficulty of these games back in the day. Yeah. Because games today are nothing like that anymore.
There could be parts that are difficult, but that's the thing, is the worst. Oh, you died.
You're not beating your head into a desk.
Yeah, you're not hitting a game over in Ninja Gaiden and realizing you have to go to just get to where you died is gonna break another controller or two. Now it's like, oh, I died, but I'm back at my last checkpoint from 5 minutes ago.
Right.
Whereas now, game over. I was on level 7. Oh my god.
Yeah.
There's
I don't know how many fits I threw when I was a kid, dying, and that was in the games that didn't have save features or anything like that.
Oh yeah.
Or
passwords.
Yeah, or passwords.
If you were caught kicking an arcade machine, see it, kid.
Yeah.
Get that file in my arcade.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The thing is, it's more, to me, it's more fair than it used to be now, because at the very least now, a lot of these free games you can legitimately play for, like Tribes. You could play for free. You'd be totally okay. You just have to be patient.
Yeah, because it takes a lot of experience to unlock everything, but you can play and unlock everything in that game.
You start with 3 classes unlocked, and you can make your arguments, oh, well, it's sort of pay to win because that item's better than this item. Well, fair enough, but it's not like anything's unusable. Most of these games do a good job of not making anything unusable.
See, that becomes part of the argument.
If they didn't give that feature to buy, though, I'm seeing this now, but if they didn't give you that feature right away to buy gold to unlock those classes, nobody would be playing right now. because all it would still be the Juggernaut, the Sentinel, or not Sentinel, but Soldier and Pathfinder, because nobody would have the XP to unlock the stuff. So with
the classes aren't terribly expensive.
If they didn't offer for you to buy gold to unlock those things, then it would have been a $60 release.
Yeah. Or there wouldn't have been a game.
Exactly.
That's the way it works. And the thing is, like,
because they have to make money.
If they didn't do that right away, like a week, people wouldn't be playing it right now. I'm sure because.
Well, yeah, but especially in a system like Tribes, like the only thing you get from. Like they actually have a pretty good system going, where the only thing you get from buying gold is you can unlock things faster, and you get the warm and fuzzy feeling you get from supporting a developer.
Yeah.
That hopefully will continue to do a good job outside of the Raider thing. By the way, Hi-Rez, I love you. I love the global agenda.
It's an amazing game.
We won't talk about the plasma
gun.
We won't talk about the plasma gun. They fixed it.
Hey, Hi-Rez, I love you. I paid for global agenda before it went free. I love you guys. So you already have about, and actually I think I bought boosts after it went free. I think Hi-Rez has about $100-something on my money. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Around, maybe a little less. So I love you guys.
Plus 30 from Tribes and his 60. And
I was including the 30. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But anyways, that's the thing is the whole you're not sure what you're going to get out of this money, as opposed to
until the gold's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not just that, but there is something comforting about the finality of I've paid $60. This game is mine.
Yeah.
There is something comforting about that.
Yeah.
And even with expectations of I've paid $60, this game is mine, but I'm also have to allocate an extra $45 future dollars for 3 $15 DLC releases that are inevitable.
Right.
Kind of like how people are like Skyrim.
Well, it's like that's that's what people are saying, because like right now, if you have no gold and say they come out with something awesome in the next one, you have no gold, but that's your class. That's a class you play. You unlocked. You got everything. And you're like, I'm that class. You want to be on the top of that. It costs at least $10 to unlock just the weapons for like when they release the packs for it. Because to get like all 3 weapons for the Raider, that was $780.
Which is just under 10.
Yeah, which is the $10 pack, which gives you 800 gold.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, in comparison to how long would it take you to
100,000 XP, which I could break maybe 10,000
Is that
in
per
a
weapon?
decent day. Yeah, close. I'm sure the grenade was less, but
and it would
the
take,
other ones
yeah.
were like
and how many hours would it take?
Well, that's the thing is they have to
But
price
you can
them
still
to sell.
do it.
Yeah, you can
still
do it without
They
buying.
have to price them to sell, but both pricing them so that it's not too expensive.
That's one of the
but
big
also
problems.
making the XP high enough to where you look at it and go, I don't want to wait that long to induce a motivation to purchase.
Are we off topic?
No, because we're talking about the transactions, which is basically what you do in an arcade. You come in and you make a microtransaction.
We'll have to tweet
you put in a
this
quarter and you get something.
You get 3 lives. Or you got one race unless you finish first or whatever.
Yeah.
I think back in the day, I think it was kind of widely accepted that arcades were a bad deal. But oftentimes, but like a bad deal from an enjoyment to money ratio.
Okay.
But the advantage you got back in the day was, you could get Mortal Kombat for the SNES, but did it look as good as the one in the arcade? No, it didn't.
No, most of the arcade ports did not look anything like
most
what
arcade games were a solid generation ahead in graphics. That pretty much lost out around probably the latter end of the PlayStation N64 era. Well, that's when the arcades really started to kind of completely die. But yeah, for the most part, arcade games were a full generation ahead in graphics, and so that's what induced you to make a bad purchase. But it was a good purchase because you're playing this awesome game.
Most of those stand-up boxes, though, you could basically I would assume that the graphics were probably that much better because you could probably think of them as little PCs that run one program.
Wait a minute.
So
wait a minute.
Everything's gonna.
Wait a minute. I just got the coolest idea ever.
This won't be the coolest idea ever.
Probably.
Remember how I was talking about the main cabinet where you can play multiple arcades?
Yes.
In one box.
Yes.
I have the design idea.
Okay.
The logo on the side.
Okay.
A blue cabinet, white lettering.
You're too late. You know why you're too late? They have miniature arcade cabinets. You know?
No, this is going to be a full-size one. It's going to say hold reset.
He's talking about building like a large
main
HRG cabinet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I was about to say, because they already have multi-arcade cabinets.
No,
you know what they call them?
Main machines.
They call them iPads.
No, main.
I'm serious. No,
No,
they have an
I've got
iPad and it mounts in a thing with a joystick and everything.
I have
I've seen
an
it.
actual.
No, I know what he's talking
layout.
about though. It's called MAME, and it's for
I know what MAME is. Multi-arcade.
Multiple arcade machine emulator.
Yeah. No, I know about MAME.
The only reason to stop me.
So
Sort of,
topic.
really.
What
We're talking
Anyways,
about arcade.
What
pushing
were we
onward.
talking about?
Pushing onward.
Sorry, I kind of got one of
Pushing
my
onward.
ADD ideas in my.
It was acknowledged that arcades were a bad deal. You know,
That's
50
right,
cents
right.
for 3 lives
Okay.
wasn't a good time investment,
for
especially
the person
considering
paying the 50 cents.
unless you were really good.
Right.
That was the only thing that broke that.
Right.
But now, gamers have to make very astute judgments because you have so many different developers with so many different motivations and wildly varying levels of wildly varying quality of content. That you really, because you have to look at something like Tribes. You have to figure out, okay, what do you like? You have to figure out before you've even played the game. If you, again, this is thinking if you want to make the most intelligent, planned out purchases. If you want to be as fiscally responsible with your money, to game time thing. Okay, how much time am I going to spend playing this game? Which the thing is, Tribes is a good example of this because it lets you try the game for free.
Right.
You can see how the game plays. You can be in the game and hear people talk about it, and while playing the game and actually try out, is this a quality game? Yes, you can. So Tribes wins. Some other games don't.
Oh, you can train every class.
If that
and
wasn't
train
there,
it,
I wouldn't have plopped down $30
Yes.
to unlock stuff faster.
Yeah, and
Because I played for free and I liked what was there. So
Yeah.
and I wanted more.
I played in the closed beta actually. And
I saw Doombringer. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, bringing the Doom with a chain gun. How awesome is that?
But the thing is, you can look at it. Okay, this is a quality game. All right, what am I going to want to do with this game? How much gold do what classes am I going to want to look into? What ones do I want to unlock? And obviously, they're gonna be.
First
I
gold,
ran out of coffee. Shut up.
first gold purchase. I'm like, unlock all the things.
Yes. They're going to be continuously updating the game to continue to induce purchases. That's their goal. But but these developers have a very slippery slope, a very thin line they have to walk because they
Pay to play or pay to win.
Well, no. Well, that's what. Okay, they're walking 2 tight ropes like this. One of them is
With 1 foot on each rope.
Yes, it sucks for them because they could get like a super. Anyways, because they have to make sure that nobody can just plop money down and win at the game because they plop money down.
Right.
It was like that for a few days, but
Shh.
I told you we're not talking about the plasma gun. Continue.
Way to talk about it without talking about it. Because if you do that, then everyone views your game as unfair and everyone stops playing, especially if it's multiplayer of nature, which most of these are. But the other tightrope they have to keep a foot on and not fall off, they're walking like they don't have knees, is they have to make sure that they price things properly. Again, they have to put the experience gate high enough. What?
Continue. Go ahead. It's completely irrelevant. That's not actually what I was laughing at.
I just want to make sure I didn't have like a boogie here.
No, I was laughing because you're doing this thing. Like anybody that's watching this can see that because you're behind the coffee, you're behind the monster.
That's how my little guy was walking.
Yeah, with no knees.
Yes.
That's why I said it was irrelevant.
They have to continue to be able to induce purchases by like releasing an item, but then having it high enough in experience to where people go and look, oh, I'll get that if I play for like 2 weeks straight. Screw that, I'll just pay $10.
Right.
But then they also have to price it fairly enough to where people don't go and look at it and go, well, that's $15 for that. I don't want to pay $15 for that. So they have to like, it's crazy.
The price line is very, very difficult, and whether or not a freemium model or pay to play or pay to win thing works, like how many marketing people do you have to figure out where?
That's where a company like Hi-Rez, assuming they continue to do it right, gets a lot of my respect. Not only did they have to get the right people to make a good game, a good enough game for people to spend money on, but then they have to get enough people that know what they're doing to get these algorithms right, of the algorithms of desire and marketing and advertising, to get people to spend money on something that they could get for without spending money, essentially.
Right.
That's
that's
a whole different skill from programming a game.
I can't remember who the developer was
For
somebody who, in my opinion, did it wrong, because it was no longer freemium. It was not free to play anymore. It became pay to play, and we all played it together. Spiral Knights. I think they did it wrong, because once you ran out of energy,
That's Atari. Come on.
That was Sony.
Once you ran,
Atari.
Sony might have been the distributor, the publisher.
Right. Okay.
Was it Atari?
I think it was Atari.
I don't know. Though somebody who plays it will
Whatever.
probably let us
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
You let us know in the comments.
Spiral Knights
But
turned out. To
Spiral
be
Knights
kind
was
of
fun, and I loved it. But once you ran out of energy, you were either done for 24 hours.
Yeah, like you literally could not.
You couldn't
actually
do
play the
anything.
game.
Yeah.
You could interact in the world,
That's it.
but you couldn't.
You can't go into
Play the
like
game.
dungeons or
You couldn't-
anything.
After a while, you couldn't sell anything either. Once you made it, you couldn't give it to somebody. It was
Why,
like
did
it
it
was
bind to
equivalent.
you?
Yeah, it was equivalently soulbound.
Oh wow.
Yeah, after a while, you couldn't make like an upgrade of something. Like, say you had a helm that owned, like, the next pattern up used that helm,
Right.
but since it was bound to you, I couldn't. There was no craftable window,
Oh,
so you
can't-
had to learn.
Like, I couldn't
all
give you
those
my
steps.
helmet to make you.
Yeah.
Okay. No, my point was that I thought that they did it wrong, because once you got to that point and you used up all your energy,
No.
you were essentially done for 24 hours, unless you paid money to
The reason
get a
we
bunch
stopped
more
playing.
energy.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was fun, but it was
yeah,
not
it
worth
was an
paying
awesome game.
for.
It was like a multiplayer Zelda. That's
Yeah,
kind of
I
like
I
NES
liked the
Zelda.
Yeah,
We should probably play that again because we still have probably some.
I probably won't.
No, because there's a cap on how much energy we have saved up. I mean, if we all had like 1,000,000 energy because we haven't played in
You can't
6 months,
unless you
that'd be awesome.
unless you
but-
have the
yeah.
extra things. I think which
There's
you're the only
energy
one that has.
I think I
Yeah.
have a tank. Cause
You can only get like 100, but
Yeah.
you know,
I
I
think
thought
it's so we could have a guild.
that's how you don't do free to play.
Yeah, agree.
But we still have a guild in Spiral Knights.
Yeah, so if you want to log on and not see us, go right on ahead.
Yeah.
We won't log on and give you an invite. But you could pretend. You could like put a piece of tape over your monitor where the guild name would be. Right,
Yeah.
HRG, and well, we let you in the guild if we cared enough to log in and do it. So
the arcade model is essentially still around. As far
well,
as
not the arcade model, because again, the
I'm not talking
physical
about the
place.
physical
Yeah,
aspect.
but,
I'm
yeah.
not talking about going to the mall and walking into, in our
Right.
case, in Aladdin's Castle, which
Unless
is no longer
you
there,
want to
but-
equate walking in and buying game time cards, but you don't have
Right.
to do that. Yeah, fair enough.
No, I'm not talking about the physical aspect of doing it.
Right.
I'm talking about like the
The metaphysical process of purchasing time with money.
right.
Purchasing
So that's
entertainment, a time
still
entertainment.
around, and hers turned on the Pac-Man machine.
I just realized I could have plugged it in.
Player one.
I need a
All right,
quarter.
no. Do either of you know of any? Because I don't know of any. Are there any physical arcades
Yes.
left
I
around?
know of a few of them. There's two of them that I know for sure in Illinois. Then of course you have like
They're
the
still up
theme
in the
parks.
cities.
Yeah, there's like theme parks that still have arcades. I'm sure.
I'm barely counting those because those are like I don't want to ride on rides because I just threw up, so they're gonna have arcades. No.
no,
We're
there's
talking
the
arcades. We're
galloping.
talking about
Search up
destinations.
Galloping Ghost. It should be right over the border in Illinois.
Well, I know there's a few.
I'm talking like Celebration Station or Aladdin's
Oh, there's
Castle.
Chuck
or...
E. Cheese, but those things are so beat to crap. I would
No, but
I
I'm
know
saying
that-
like inside Celebration Station there was an arcade
Oh, yeah.
inside of it.
No, they are here and there, but for the most part, they're like they're not like the way we remember them.
Oh,
like
God.
Aladdin's Castle,
Aladdin's Castle, Celebration
or
Station,
the Super Fun and the Crap
that-
Mall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Crap Mall.
Century Mall. You
it was
could
the
get your
crap
pizza.
mall.
You get your pizza right here.
Their
then
pizza
you just
was
turn right around and
one
run
slice
right
of
to the
pizza
arcade.
was like bigger than your face.
Yeah,
It was
huge. Yeah, and it was like $1.20.
Watch,
Yeah.
watch
No
now.
wonder
if
the place
we
went
go
out
to
of
a,
business.
if we go to a place that's just like that, and we get the piece of pizza, we're like, wait, I remember it being much.
I need
no,
3
no.
more of these. I'm way fatter than I used to be, or these are way smaller, or both. It's both. I know there's some around
I don't know
there was
of
one I
any
saw in a
around here.
video, but that's the thing is they're kind of like destinations because they're arcades that have every friggin' game ever. They're big and they're almost like tourist destinations. Hey, look what used to be everywhere.
Right.
Almost one part ironic, one part.
It's like a
nostalgic.
drive-in. It's like a drive-in movie theater.
Yeah.
Hey, look what used to be everywhere. Now it's gone.
Yeah, and but yeah, no. For the most part, our arcades, they're pretty much dead.
As far as
The only thing is, I know that there's
is that a word? Physicality?
there's certain types of games that still
physically.
well there's certain types of games that still draw that will still draw people to an arcade. Stuff that's competitive based gaming, like I know DDR. People will still go to an arcade to compete against each other on an actual... Because nobody has a DDR machine, an authentic DDR machine at their house.
Well,
there's a
looking at
small
the three of
arcade
us, I don't
front
think
at the
it's going to be
mall.
anybody like us.
But even then, the dance pad is not... The dance pad is not DDR, the actual arcade DDR.
Is DDR a video game? Seriously?
No,
Yes.
we think of that fat kid that's on the thing. And he's like, "Brrr," and then.
Yeah, of course
Down.
DDR is a video game. Is Guitar Hero a video game?
No.
Was Track and Field a video game?
No. No, it wasn't.
no,
Do you know
because-
how I play track and field? Yes, with my hands.
And I've seen DDR players
What?
play it like Simon or whatever.
Wow.
I've also seen DDR players actually dance while they do the
doing
thing.
it.
Those people are talented people, let me tell you. They should be paid money. They're not.
It just means they've played that song one too many times that they know where to step so that they can dance while they're doing it.
Probably. Maybe 1 out of 12 of those people actually are.
Because I'm not going to lie, I've tried to play it before.
I don't like it.
I don't know how you can dance and do that at the same time.
Most of the machines are a few milliseconds off.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. Or it seems that way, either way. Anyways, I don't know what point I'm anywaysing to.
Yeah,
I don't either.
I'm watching Miss Pac-Man run and eat stuff.
So there's nothing is left around here.
Oh, around here?
No.
No.
Other than
we should
unless
do-
we go
You
to
might see
Chicago.
them tucked away. You might see
Dave
mini
and
arcades.
Buster's.
Yeah.
Do they have?
Dave and Buster's still exist. They're
yeah.
all shitty now, but
I remember there was a
Like
it was a
like
Disney
Krabby Mall?
place.
yeah, worse actually.
Oh, wow.
Super Fun was actually a good arcade. Sorry.
Yeah, that was.
There was another place like the ESPN. There's like an ESPN something.
ESPN Zone, yeah. They have
Yeah,
arcade
but there was
stuff
another.
there.
There was a Disney place
But that's
I
the
think
thing.
that had all sorts of.
But the thing is,
arcade games.
but that's the thing. The draws for those places aren't Killer Instinct or Daytona USA. The draws are like Papa Shot and Skee Ball,
Yeah.
which I guess
fun.
they're arcade games, but they're not video games,
No.
which is kind of the realm we're
That's like
mainly exploring in.
Sail Island.
They have like crane games and tickets
You know
and
what?
bullshit prizes.
We
for
ought
those
to
tickets.
do like a road trip thing where we actually find an old arcade and just have fun and
Or
we should
honestly, it'll turn into try to have fun and then realize why
Yeah.
arcades are bullshit. At least at our age.
Yeah.
no, we
Yeah.
take what? How much?
We'd probably get kicked out. I could so see somebody.
Oh yeah.
Him
You guys are
especially.
way too. Yeah.
No,
he's way
me.
too German and.
Wait, with the Irish temper, so it kind of we both got that going on,
We'll
don't
just
we?
give him some
I'm just
alcohol
very
before we
Irish.
go.
That makes it
No,
worse.
so we don't. That's the idea. Get us kicked out faster. That'll be more fun
that's actually going to be the goal.
to get kicked out. See how fast
if
we can
people see
get
the
kicked
video's
out.
only 2:49. You know it's.
All right,
gonna be-
it took us 5 minutes and 19 seconds at the last one. Let's see if we can beat it here.
and that has become our arcade game. Oh. But people pay us for it in AdSense dollars. Heh.
Yeah.
We wish.
In
would see,
AdSense
like-
cents.
Yeah, in AdSense sense, yeah.
All right. What
All
else?
right,
Do we
so-
have anything left?
No, I think that's about it. idea of an arcade as far as paying for something is still around because we have the free-to-play with microtransactions and DLCs and all of that stuff, but the actual physical walking into an arcade.
One little parting shot too, because I mentioned this.
Oh wait, they do have cyber cafes where you can play your game. You know, but you still pay your subscription, but it's more like they also have LAN parties still too. But either
it's a
way,
little different.
it's different.
That's kind of
it's more like a modern
PC oriented, and that's kind of
Yeah.
a little. It's more. I'm paying
That's
for
a
social
lot.
interaction.
I'm talking about walking into a
real?
place that has, things like this and the big stand-up boxes and
Traditional arcade.
and
one little parting
gone.
shot, because I assume this is probably going to go up tonight. I imagine.
Depends on how
I don't
fast
know.
I can.
Yeah.
Well, either way, I'm going to be doing a more extensive video on it. But one of the more intriguing things I've found is that I played in the Guild Wars 2 open beta, and they're not. It's not freemium because Guild Wars 2 won't be free. It's like paymium. It's a little scary. It's like the only negative thing I took from it because you have to pay $60 for
buying the game, right?
and it's an MMO without a subscription fee.
Right.
But I found their subscription fee in a gem store. And I don't know how much gems will cost. And I don't know the exact parameters of all of the things you buy with gems. But I know some of the things you buy with gems are XP boosters. And for the next hour, your chances of getting better loot have been increased. And, sometimes you find chests in the world. And you can only unlock those chests with keys that you buy at the gem store. That's
I would
a
like
thing.
to. I would like to make comments on everything that you just said, but I would like to wait until I am a lot more informed
Yes,
on what is going
yes.
on with that.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's
And-
bad because it is an MMO without a
And
subscription
I'm almost
fee.
certain that we are going to have Guild Wars 2 videos. We've already talked about it countless times. You already pre-purchased, so you were in this previous beta weekend. I'm buying this week, which means the next open betas I'll be in. I don't know if you're playing at all. No.
I'm still hanging out with. I'm going to be
What?
doing some more
I think-
World of Warcraft stuff and Diablo 3.
I think the only way hers plays is if it's like, I'm going to be making World of Warcraft videos and Miss drops and he's like, I wasted $60. This sucks. Go to Guild Wars 2.
He's
Well,
not going
that's
to,
why-
though,
that's why
because
I'm
he was
paying
such
the
an
beta.
avid Pokemon fan. I think the thing that has got him excited about the mop is that
You're able to go out in the world
battle
different times of the day,
pet system.
just like Pokemon.
Yeah.
Different times of the day, it's at the same spot. It could be raining and you get a different thing. show
Pokemon
up.
was never in an arcade. We've been rambling and he wants
But-
to shoot himself now.
Yeah.
But this has gone on long enough.
All right.
Arcade idea is still around. Arcades physically are gone unless you guys know where to find some, because out here we don't have
In
any.
the Chicagoland area.
If anywhere, wherever you're at, if you guys have arcades around, still let us know, because I don't know of
I'd like to
anywhere
know.
that has arcades.
Like, and when we
I
say
think it would be
again,
cool.
bona fide arcade, not
Yeah.
like, that miniature golf batting cage place has 3 arcade things.
Right, no, that's like us. We could go down the road and we have one of those. It's like a fun
island
center with
place,
miniature
yeah.
golf and batting cages and an arcade. And
Shitty miniature golf, by the way.
it's
There's
I
a
like the
dragon.
miniature golf. I'm mad they got rid of their driving range though. No more driving range.
No, there's a big dragon at that place, and it looks cool, but it's really not. Anyways,
used to color pictures of it in school.
Wow.
mother of God.
On that note,
Hold Your Set Gaming, it's for your mouth. We just talked about arcades. Pick up the last part of this conversation at the beginning of the next video when we pick up what we forgot, just like we did with this.
because
last
we
one.
always forget something, as you guys, I'm sure, as well know.
Any ideas? Throw them down in the comments
what it's
Section.
for.
If you know where arcades are at around you, anywhere,
Yeah.
let us know in the comment section. Hit the like button if you like this. We're working on just the audio thing so that you guys can get it on like your iPods and MP3
Yeah,
players and
expect
stuff.
that shortly, actually, because I
So-
actually found a really awesome way to host it from Dropbox.
So we're working on that. Be on the lookout for that. Hold Reset Gaming. It's for your mouth. Herzreh, Haberdashery. I almost forgot his name because he was looking at me kind of crazy-eyed. My name's Sloth. Thanks for watching. Don't die.
Don't die.